Everything is awesome! And at number 5, the Lego movie is awesome! Boy, this is the animated feature of the year. I didn't play that much with Legos as a kid. I didn't have my own. I used to play with friends' Legos. But this movie made me remember not only how much fun Legos are, but how much fun it used to be to play with toys when I was little. You know, it's also about how important it is to create and be creative. And it's so funny, too. Number 4 on the list is Belle. With its limited release, it seems like Belle was a lesser-known picture. It tells the true story of Dido Elizabeth Belle, who in the 1700s was a little girl adapted and brought to England from Africa after her parents died, to grow up and live with a rich, high-class family. There's a lot of fresh storytelling in this masterpiece. This is a piece that brings the audience back in time with its rich dialogue, rich score, authentic sets and performances. While the biography of Belle does not list her having any involvement in the trial of the Zong massacre, the connection that this film makes between Belle's life and the trial makes the film that much more perplexing and complex. Along with the subplot of Belle meeting men who may serve as a spouse. I can't believe not many people saw this film when it came out. Better see it now. I am shocked to say this. Number 3 is a superhero film. This isn't just any superhero movie. This is a superhero masterpiece that went above and beyond. This is a new entry in excelling the summer blockbuster, as The Dark Knight did in 2008. For the first time in several years, we have a superhero action picture that got everything right and still managed to be a top-notch action picture. Number 3, The Amazing Spider-Man 2! And I cannot lie. This is the Spider-Man movie and superhero movie that we wanted, and we didn't know it yet. This is Spider-Man and Peter Parker perfected by Andrew Garfield. Made me say, Spider-Man is alive. This 2-hour and 24-minute picture has the right use of dialogue. It uses a lot of CGI, and it uses the CGI properly. It has an excellent portrayal of Peter Parker's life between his family, his love life, his life as the Spider, and the villains are brilliant. Jamie Foxx is terrific at transitioning from this goofy scientist to the intimidating villain, Electro. Harry Osborn is brought into the picture, and you know what? This film brings everything that could be a weakness and turns it into a strength. It brings Harry Osborn into the picture, and yet we understand that Harry Osborn and Peter had a friendship prior to this film. The limited amount of time that we saw the Goblin, and yet the Goblin made a huge impact on the story. The romance between Peter and Gwen, director Mark Webb brought so much human drama and realism to it. This is a superhero's romance. And what a great ending. What a great ending. It has such a powerful message to it. You know, because it's about Peter overcoming his losses, learning to keep himself going, learning to become the hero that he can still be. That is an inspirational message. But did anyone agree with me? No. Instead, everyone got selfish and said not enough Goblin. Rhino pretty much wasn't in it. The Avengers are never mentioned. Too many villains, can't concentrate on the complicated story and character development. And the most ridiculous complaint of them all, that Andrew Garfield is too cool and too good looking to play Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Have we really come down to this, complaining that an actor is too good looking to play the role? Or do you just want to see Spidey join the Avengers? Admit it. There were other superhero movies from this year. Captain America 2 was good. Guardians of the Galaxy, fanboys get too emotional comparing it to Star Wars, which is outlandish. And that X-Men movie was awful. Ignore the haters. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is triumphant. Number 2, Interstellar. Every director wants to make their own space movie. Christopher Nolan has the urge to consistently bring our minds moving and take us beyond our Earth to travel outside the solar system to planets beyond our imagination. Before I go further, in its initial release, viewers urged you to see it on IMAX film. Then they said not to see it on IMAX film because it will only be at its peak in the first week or first viewing. Then some theaters broke down in their projection, causing sound and video problems. Now, I love film. I've worked with film before. I didn't make the effort to see Interstellar on IMAX film. I did make the effort to see it on IMAX digital. I can say that Interstellar is an unbelievable experience. It is full of visual wonder, uneasy sounds, and the whole theater rumbles at every dangerous corner, making you feel like you're trapped in a far distance, wishing you could go home. This close to 3-hour experience in the second half feels like a long nightmare. On top of that, Interstellar still tells a terrific story about humans living on Earth who need to find life outside of Earth, to find a new home for humanity when the Earth is no longer adequate. Matthew McConaughey plays the astronaut who finds NASA and leads his team on a journey to find out where that new land could be. It's quite sad when you see what happens between him and his family, wondering how or if it can be resolved. It seems like some people are saying, I hope now people realize how dumb Gravity was and forget about it. Guys, Gravity served its purpose. It was a great film that came out in 2013. Leave it at that. 2014 has been the year of exploring the human condition and exploring the brain on film. But one film stands out as the best film of the year. Here it is. #1 film of 2014. Boyhood. It seems like everybody else talks about the 12-year production of the film. I am going to talk about the movie. The story focuses on a young boy growing up from the age of 5 to 18, learning how to grow with his sister, visiting their father, living with mom as she struggles with multiple marriages, paying bills, raising him and sis. How unique that while the mom and the dad have such involvement in the storytelling, that the main focus of the story is the boy. It allows us to see, how the boy lives and compare it to how we grew, noticing the raw authenticity of growing up in this decade. Seeing the boy grow up before our eyes allows us to embrace each moment that we get with him. What a feeling it gave me at the end. Undescribable. And thinking about the film gives me that feeling again. Lots of praise to Richard Linklater, but more praise to everyone else involved in the picture, especially the 2 actors playing the siblings, Lorelei Linklater as the sister and Eller Coltrane as the boy. This film is a landmark. The question remains, how will I show it to future generations? Only time will tell for this 2-hour and 45-minute terrific piece, masterpiece. And there you have it. These are the best films of 2014. If you haven't seen them, you've got to see them and embrace them. 2014 has been an excellent year for film.